again. The Smuggler is a starting profession for your captain, but it can also be recruited during spice festivals, and you can find them through contacts, as with all of the jobs. The Smuggler's primary skill is Negotiate, which is only used in missions, but is valuable in those missions. Secondarily, they get Intimidate, which is used in a number of things. It's probably the least important skill save for deep space checks, but still nice to have. And tertiary skill of Stealth, which is used in some missions, and a few other things, such as combat. The Smuggler is not a combat class, however, so if you're starting a captain with a Smuggler profession, probably not a crew combat expert. If you do start as a Smuggler with your captain, you will get these two traits. You will get Exploiter, which it says, leveraging the risk required to avoid trade law, +1 quickness, +2 charisma, and gains +10% profit when trading at a black market. This stacks additively with the 25% hidden bonus upon trading anything at a black market. So now you're getting 35% profit when you're traded at the black market. This is a lot of money, but does keep you stuck doing all your trades in the black market. You don't get any bonuses like the merchant will at legitimate markets. You also get the Flighty trait, which states, always dodging the law, gains +5 escape, +10% defense, +5% shield and ship combat. This is, in my opinion, the strongest starting profession trait in the game. That is because it gives this nice +10% defense. It could be just that. That could be both of their traits, and it would still be the best choice. 10% defense bonus is massive in ship combat. Keeps you alive very nicely. It is effectively the important components of 2 defense matrices. It's like you're getting 2 small slots for free at the beginning of the game. The fact that it gives a little bonus escape, great if you're leaving, but you'll be so hard to hit that you can just fight everyone at this point. And 5% shield, great. If you get hit, it'll hit your components a little bit less. Now, this opens up an interesting kind of cookie-cutter build where you take the Smuggler as your profession, and then you only get 1 rank in it. You put a trait in talent wherever you want, and then everything else goes into your commander or military officer jobs to stack up the command and tactics pools, and that way you're able to just really magnify this one trait that you start with to give you a huge defense pool. It's probably the strongest way to build a ship combat profession if you are just trying to cheese your way to the end. Alright, let's go through the talents pretty quickly. Cunning Slip, a stealth test save, useful for missions. This can be very useful early game as you do some of the Feign story arcs. You'll find there's some that require stealth to get best results out of. You really only need 1 stealth save in the game, so if you already have them to someone else, it's not necessary. Underground Whispers. When accessing a black market, replace a risk card with a Learn Rumor card. Rumors are okay. Sometimes they're very valuable, sometimes they're meh. This is just a risk removal that's great for the black market. Usually there's 1 or 2 cards in the black market you don't want to deal with. Get rid of one of them, replace it with something that's meh. Fine. Hideout is very valuable. Prevents seizure of packages, prisoners, or passengers when searched by an enemy vessel. Note the 3 weeks cooldown. If it's on cooldown, you cannot just assume you're immune to search and seizure. Now, if you have a passenger that's not the Arbiter's protected anyway, you probably don't want to surrender to hostile factions, or factions hostile to that passenger's goal. So this is a way to safely surrender to other ships and not lose your missions or fail your missions. Backroom Deal. When attempting to access a black market, replace a risk card with a market access card. This is why you came to the black market to begin with. Getting rid of a risk card with this is fantastic. I find this to be a far stronger card than Underground Whispers, but eventually you'll want both. So, take your pick early on, but Backroom Deal is generally what you want. Illicit Notoriety. When accessing the black market, always gain access at 1 access level higher. This can make it very easy to get access to effective trade permit level 4, which is great for selling Xeno artifacts on black markets. Dubious Handshake. This one I really don't find any value in, or almost no value. When encountering a Smuggler Captain, a subtle greeting among criminals ends the encounter in a peaceful draw. 30 plus negotiation % chance to learn a new rumor. 12-week cooldown for an encounter thing that will not prevent reputation loss in the cases where you'd need to use it. Not very helpful. If you're chasing rumors a lot, it could have an edge case where you'd want to do it. The trick would be do it with friendly smugglers, or you do it with any smuggler, but you still need to bribe to the point where they're not going to destroy your reputation or demand tribute so you can get all the money you can first, and then try to get a rumor out of it. Not a big deal, not an important talent, in my opinion. Bootleg profits at rank 5 now. When executing trade at the black market worth over 5,000, increase your profit of sale or reduce the price of purchase by 20 plus negotiate percent skill. This is pretty substantial amount of money you can get. The fact that it applies to purchases is really nice because you can buy a whole bunch of power generators from the black market when you got a really good access, and then you can sell those at the Temple of Refuge or wherever else you want another black market if you'd like. A lot of money can be saved or earned with this 9-week cooldown talent. Forged Permit, very valuable. There's another talent just like it, but still good to have. Good to have two sometimes. Well-forged documents can open doors. Can be used to reduce the hostility of military ships encountered in travel. So these pesky military officers can be tricked, and you can end up gaining a reputation with the faction instead of losing it, or at least breaking even. Garbled Identity. This is a mirror talent to something that E-Tech has. I would never get it because I have tons of E-Techs always. But it will lower your reputation loss by up to your stealth skill to a minimum of -1. It's actually worse than the E-Tech's one, because at rank 1 you have 1 stealth, and E-Tech has, 4 electronics. So they're always mitigating down to -1 reputation lost. You're going to be still taking a hit that might be bigger than 1 until you get to rank 12, which could be higher level than 12. Really don't recommend it. Faked Signature, however, I do recommend. It's the same thing as Forged Permit, but it is for bounty hunters. Bounty hunters can be pretty obnoxious, so this can be very useful for the same exact reasons. Slippery Trader. This is situational, can be kind of fun. When trading into a trade ban or trade war, reduces the rep penalty by 30% plus double your negotiation skill. So if you end up having negotiation of 10, you're a very accomplished smuggler, you're getting half of your reputation penalty lost. So this is a way to, even under nasty circumstances, still not destroy your reputation with the opposing faction too much, and still make a trade that you really needed to make to get out of the hole. Hey, Lord of Sin. You can see we're just finishing up here. So this is situational. I wouldn't generally pick it first, but it can be nice, especially as you get decent negotiation, because it does scale at 2x your skill. Insider Training, moving to the rank 8 talents. When executing a trade at the black market worth over 5,000 credits, gain reputation up to your negotiate skill with your contact. This is a great way to build up your reputation with your contacts, especially if they don't buy intel. That can be pretty hard to do, and this is one of the alternative ways to do it. A little tricky to do, and it does have a 9-week cooldown, but if you're late in the game and you're sitting at 10 plus negotiation, you can actually boost up a contact and get into a good spot with them without having to fret because there's no way to sell them intel. Or if they don't even offer missions. If they're in a case where they don't offer missions and they don't buy intel, it's extremely hard to raise their influence, and it's also extremely hard to raise personal reputation with them. But you can do that with things like this. Now, Underworld Ransom, or Renown, sorry. I was thinking of a different... Where's the Underworld Ransom? Oh, whatever. Underworld Renown. When attempting to access a black market, replace a risk card with a market access card that includes contact influence bonus. Here's how you can get your influence up with a contact. They're very happy when this happens. This is a stronger version of Backroom Deal, and it is very helpful for boosting up someone that's giving you access to something that you really get a lot of profits out of. Highly recommend the talent. Light Fingers. While salvaging an orbital, increase cargo rewards by 10% plus stealth skill. Your stealth isn't massive as a smuggler, so this is a small bonus. It does have a 6-week cooldown. But if you are going into the salvaging game later on, this is a way to enhance your rewards as you try a few different rounds. This combines with card swaps. You don't have to not reroll a card if you want to use this, so it's kind of passive in that sense. Can be nice, but it's not usually why you pick up a smuggler. Just a kind of cross-training option. Criminal Connections, now up to the rank 11 talents. One, executing a trade at the black market worth over 5,000 credits. Again, the same condition as this. Gain a 30 plus charisma percent chance to learn about a contact. If you have a high charisma smuggler, this is an easy way to get more contacts. However, I find that by the time I'm in late game with a smuggler, unless it is my captain. By the time I'm late game with a smuggler, I don't need that many more contacts because the E-Tech skills have been so spammy generating contacts that I don't need anything else. Same with Navigator. Um, but if it's my captain, I might still not have a full net of contacts, and this is an easy way to get more. Unlawful Royalty is a sister talent to this. When executing a trade in the black market worth over 50,000 credits, and this will always trigger in place of insider trading if both are met, because this is a stricter condition. Gain a 50 plus charisma percent chance to learn, so higher chance, to learn about a smuggler or smuggler prince contact. So you will get someone else that will help you directly with your main profession. Very, very helpful for expanding your network and keeping up with the smuggling game. Very strong talent, but it does require you make a decent sale. Of course, if it is your captain, you have that bonus profit on top of other bonus. So it's pretty easy to get trades that are over 50,000 credits, and this is a pretty high chance, especially if you have a 30 charisma captain. Well, let's make that 32 because of the trait. You're sitting at an 82% chance to learn about a smuggler prince. Very, very strong way to build out your network. And finally, at rank 15, Incorrigible Sneak. 21-week cooldown's pretty severe, but it's a full removal or full re-roll of your hand. When attempting to access a black market, re-roll all 5 cards to draw a new hand. This is great when you've got your hold full of spice tea, or you've got all the Xeno artifacts, all 200 of them stored up. You have an entire Costco warehouse in your hold. And they have 2 cards that are getting rid of your goods. Well, the pro tip is you can go stash all of those in a nearby wild zone, then come back, take the hand, even if it has crappy things in it. You don't have anything to lose because they don't have any goods there. You can get around it that way. However, if you have 2 cards in that hand that are both fighting faction forces, fighting FTF, they will not care that you don't have anything to steal, to be appropriated by them, and you'll still have to fight them and lose reputation with them, even if you kill them or survive. So that's a rare case where Incorrigible Sneak really saves you, because it takes a really long time for these card games to shift out their hand with something else naturally. So this is a great way to get rid of the very worst of black market hands, or just be lazy and not drop off your goods, come back, take the hand, see there's a better hand, go grab your goods and come back.